by Brandy Pet.
Welcome, everybody. Happy Thursday. It's me, Brandy P, with the SIM The Veteran Podcast, and hopefully everybody's had a good week. I did want to thank our amazing guests from Sons and Daughters of Liberty and the Women Veteran Calendar that did join us last week to talk about the Dining Out Gala that we will be having. The tickets are going quite fast, so if anyone is curious to come out and check it out, no, you don't need to be a woman or a veteran even, and we are happy to have you, but it is in honor of Women Veterans Day. And I did quickly want to also show something that was donated after the podcast graciously by Patriot Metal Arts. This is a 36-inch tall solid steel, beautiful grenade chair or a side table, and it will be available at the silent auction at the event. We were not going to do one, but we took one look at it, and everyone unanimously decided we would have one, and the proceeds would be split between the nonprofits that would be hosting the event. And I will be spray painting it OD green this week, so stay tuned for more on that. And I will go ahead and introduce our guest for today, Miss Amelia Peacock. Hey, sis, how are you doing?
Amelia Peacock, and I am a Marine Corps veteran. Hoorah!
And so what'd you do in the Marines, sis?
Oh, correction specialist. For all of those that might not know what that means, guarded prisoners.
That's not an easy job. I know I did quite a bit of physicals on members on their way to visit with you. And they would always be fun to, ask, like, what'd you do? Sometimes you didn't get the best answer, and sometimes they tell you.
Yes, this is very true.
And so what is it
Always
that you're
doing
doing
on
for
your toes?
Always. And so what is it you are currently doing for the veteran community, sis?
Oh, absolutely. So I work with an amazing nonprofit organization. I've been blessed to be able to be with this organization for a little bit over 6 years. So I'm very grateful for that. But it's Grace After Fire, and we are for women veterans, by women veterans, and ultimately, we're a sisterhood forged in fire and empowered to succeed. Our mission is to empower women veterans to harness their strengths, ignite their passion, and create impactful change in their families, workplaces, and communities after her service, with the vision of our women breaking ranks, building dreams. So empowering women veterans and their families to share their stories, build a future, and inspire their communities. And all of our services and programs are wrapped into that ultimate purpose of our organization.
And I think that's so important. My co-host, Melissa, is not here today. She's had a few years of break. But it was something that, as an advocate herself, she was always wondering about services offered for nonprofits that are in the Houston area. And I'm so happy to hear that you guys have such a large territory of women veterans that you do serve. And that sense of camaraderie is something that a lot of us as women don't realize we are missing until it's in front of us. And so I'm happy to hear that you guys are all over. How many counties is it now?
Well, for our general assistance program, which is the only program that's restricted to a logistical area, we cover down for 26 counties, and that's through an amazing opportunity for a grant that we received through Texas Veterans Commission. And it allows us to serve those 26 counties within the state of Texas as of now.
Wow. And so you offer programs both in the state of Texas as well as outside of it. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am, we do. Yes, ma'am. Majority of our programs, so all of our programs, we have resource navigation is a huge aspect of what we do. A lot of our ladies are coming to us, oftentimes because they have been dealing with the transition that we all experience from military life to civilian life. And sometimes that doesn't happen immediately after service. Sometimes it does. And sometimes it takes some time to kind of catch up and you realize, crud, I'm in a spot and I could really utilize some help from some people who really kind of understand and get what I'm going through. And so kind of that's a lot of times where our ladies are able to connect with us, or maybe another nonprofit has, referred our ladies to us. And so through that, what that allows our organization to do is through our peer-to-peer programming, our general assistance program, our STARS program, our work, there's so many different areas that a woman veteran can get plugged into. But that really allows us to, really bolster that family, provide the support that oftentimes is lacking for our sisters in arms, and really allow them to have the tools where they can really be successful.
And you have so many different enriching programs, and that's something that I very much was impressed by when I was taking a look at your webpage and speaking to some of your lovely ladies. And I love that you are taking care of multi aspects of why maybe a woman veteran would need help. Could you talk a little bit more in depth on some of the programs that you do have?
Absolutely. One of our newest programs is in combination with our general assistance program. And it's kind of an area where we've really developed this program specifically because we've seen such a need and a want from our ladies as well. And so it's an opportunity. It's the STARS program. And what that stands for is Services and Transition Assistance for Resilient Sisters. And so what that program offers is really a powerhouse opportunity. We have, financial professionals that work with our organization as community partners. They provide our ladies opportunities to attend workshops for budgeting, different aspects on financial health all the way around, how it affects you. Maybe it's, budgeting for the holidays this time. Maybe it's, how do you budget for those little moments of self-care for oneself, or how do you eat healthy on a budget? All just a variety of areas that we really cover down on. But it also allows for the women veterans to meet one-on-one with that professional as well and really get an inside look at their specific plan, where they're wanting to go, what are their goals, and how can they achieve those. And so again, it really goes back to just providing our ladies with the opportunities to be able to empower them to grab a hold of the tools that we have and to implement them into their lives.
I love that. And you seem to have programs almost every week, there's something to do. And you don't really see that often with nonprofits. You guys are some busy ladies.
Yes, ma'am. We've worked really hard at this and we continue to. And so with that, some programs that we have weekly, thank you for mentioning that, because our Coffee and Conversation has been long standing. As long as I've been with the organization, I know we've been hosting Grace After Fires Coffee and Conversation on Monday mornings, 9:30 to 10, which is an opportunity to grab your coffee, get together with some fellow ladies and just have a quick chat to start your week off right. Just with some humor, whatnot, And then we also have lunch and learns and Brandy, thank you for having the flow of our website going up, because you can definitely go to our events calendar. We have a lunch and learn each Friday of the month, the first through the fourth Fridays of every month. That's going to be your first Friday is a meditation opportunity. The second Friday is an opportunity to engage in yoga, whether it's chair yoga, on the floor yoga, using a mat, or whatever, however you do yoga, it's open for everyone. And then on the third Friday, we have a mindfulness and mental wellness opportunity for our lunch and learn with Mr. Swapnil Gupta. He is an amazing gentleman with a lot of insight from the Vedanta Institute of Houston, and he's providing that to our ladies. And then on the fourth Friday, and we have an exciting opportunity. This will be our coming up this Friday. She'll be kicking us off with Flawless Fridays. That's the fourth Friday of each month. And that's going to be with life coach and fellow veteran, Miss Tamika Jones. And so we're very excited about that as well. But those are some opportunities happening every single month, along with our tabletop Color Me Camo groups. And those just recently got started. So you're still at the very opportune time to jump in. It's open for at any time. But this really allows ladies to get to know one another, develop some of that camaraderie and spend some time and hang out, and that's at the VFW Post 7108 over in Helotes. We've got one of our amazing volunteers hosting that in tandem with Grace After Fire. And so we're very excited about all the opportunities where our ladies can plug in, whether it's for peer services, resource navigation, our yearly retreats, workshops, mommy and me events that we have coming up, so many things.
So did you want to talk a little bit more about your retreats? Because I know that I've spoken with some of your ladies and I have heard so much about how awesome it is. And It's once a year, if I'm correct. I'm not sure if I'm right. But man, they said you don't want to miss it. Like, make sure you go.
Yes, ma'am. And that's some of the best advice and some advice that I've shared with many ladies, if they've, we talked beforehand, they're like, I'm not real sure. And I'm like, look, I'm going to tell you right now, like, please trust a sister. If you are on the edge, just say yes, because you owe it to yourself. I've seen so many women come in the door. Oftentimes life is happening and life is going on, and every single woman veteran has chosen to serve her country. And through that, I tend to find a lot of our ladies are also often servants. They have a heart of service. And so they tend to give, whether that's through their families, their church groups, their community groups, whatever they're a part of, they want to give back. And so we're often giving, but we're not filling our own cup. And so this retreat really is, it's based off of, it's a peer led space, right? And so it's all of us women veterans having that lived experience in life and getting together and kind of talking about some of those things while also offering some other additional aspects like equine therapy, which is amazing. Nice. I had a very fun horse this time. He just kept giving me kisses right on my cheek, saying hello. It was so fun. But our ladies, you come in, you're strangers, and it's almost instantaneous because you start to realize how much we really do have in common. And I can tell you that by the end of our retreats, we are all continuously on a text thread, sharing things with our sisters, continuing to support our sisters, continuing to walk alongside our sisters as we do in that peer space. And so it really is an amazing opportunity. And it does happen the beginning of April each year. So registration, this is the key point, even though it happens in April, registration opens up around February, March timeframe. So that's really when you want to be looking out. Make sure you're a Grace After Fire member beforehand. What does that look like? That looks like you go into graceafterfire.org, the website that Brandy has up for us, and just clicking that Become a Member, completing your forms, reaching out to our team, making sure you've got everything on there. All the instructions are on the website. It's a pretty easy process, but doing that beforehand will really heighten your opportunity to get quick registration.
Note to self. And I do appreciate hearing about all these amazing programs. I know you had briefly touched on working with Texas Veterans Commission, and there's financial assistance. Could you talk a little bit about what types of issues would be potentially eligible for application for assistance?
Absolutely. So Grace After Fire, as we've been doing this we've been able to have the honor of being able to provide our general assistance for quite a few years. And through that time, we've really identified that there's a large area of need in the areas of what we cover down in is the mortgage, rent assistance. We cover down on utilities. So that's going to like electricity, water, gas, things of that nature. Also internet is included in that for the household. We assist with transportation, which means 2 areas of transportation. So we'll assist with a vehicle loan as well as a vehicle insurance for the primary vehicle that the woman veteran is driving. And then also, this is a huge one, especially for our ladies. And a lot of times what we find is our ladies come to us and they're in a situation where they're trying to find work or they need to be able to go to that job fair that we're providing resource information for. They need to be able to get out there in the community and network so that they can strengthen that, strengthen their network to be able to find a job that's really going to fit what they're looking for. But a big hindrance to that is childcare. And so one of the opportunities that we offer through our general assistance grant is the option to provide up to 30 days of childcare and a certain amount, but we'll work with the women veteran on that, but provide that. And that can be used in the areas like I just mentioned, like if you're underemployed or unemployed, trying to find a job, like those are prime things that we can really dig in on and assist with. And I know that sometimes, that information doesn't get out there as quick as you need it to, but that is a huge area. And so we're really excited that we can kind of help cover down in some of those areas.
And I think that's amazing. I know previous events that we've had, childcare was definitely an issue. A lot of women very much wanted to participate, and because they didn't have childcare, they didn't want to sign up. So we literally reached out and had partnerships with some childcare centers, so that way, if people needed to be able to have childcare, they would have it, and that way they could still have that time with their sisters that they very much wanted. And I think that's great that you guys offer that. And it seems like you have a wide field of different things that you can assist with. So, I mean, my hats are off to you ladies for doing this because of the fact that it is so needed, and it really helps women veterans stand up, because we all need help sometimes. And
Yes,
for you guys to be there for these ladies for so many different issues, man, I'm gonna have to clap for you. Yeah. I'm excited.
we appreciate it so much, but I will say this as well, this is nothing that we can do by
Of course.
ourselves. You have such a strong supportive community, both in the Houston, San Antonio, across Texas, across the nation, really, for our veterans. When we get plugged in, we stay plugged in with different organizations that are there to assist our ladies, and really, we build upon that because we can do what we do, and we do it with excellence, but we only do these things. And so outside of that, that's where that resource navigation portion comes in, to plugging in with all the other amazing organizations that are in our community serving our veterans.
And I love to see nonprofits work together. I know I've seen in the past where it could be, not saying this one, of course, but I know sometimes a lot of people, they tend to want to keep all the resources to themselves. But really, I feel that the community is always helped the most when people are talking to each other, and, they're able to work together to create an even broader network and assist even more people. So I think that that's amazing that you guys do that. And so I know that there's been quite a bit of planning for your upcoming Women Veterans Engage conference. Did you want to talk about that a bit?
Absolutely. I'm very excited about our Women Veterans Engage conference. Thank you so much for asking. This is a national level conference that we've had the opportunity to be able to be a host of. And so Women Veterans Alliance is the organization who has kind of put everything together and made this a possibility for all of our organizations to be able to come together and have this. And so with that, there's over 20 different host locations across the United States that's going to be partaking in this conference. And Grace After Fire is able to host the site for the San Antonio region. And so you can plug in virtually. We want you to be there in person, but if you do need to plug in virtually, there's also the option for that. There's an app to download. Like, you'll get all the details once you register with us and everything. But the amazing part of this is as you can see, and thank you so much for throwing the flyer up there, Brandy, we've got an amazing crew of folks for everyone to come out and see. The speakers that we're going to be having at this event for the local portion is going to be, as you can see on the screen, we've got Dr. Amelia Peacock, we've got Kimberly Vernon Hendricks. She is a social licensed counseling, or I always get this backwards. It's LCSW-S, but it's on the flyer, and so it properly states it there. We have Miss Aaliyah, I've already said Dr. Aaliyah Engel. We've got Miss Lisa Acevedo and Stephanie Gathas. These are some powerhouse ladies. These are trailblazers ladies. These are women who have gone through, because we all have a story to tell. And we believe very deeply in that. And we believe that our stories are ours to tell, and that we have the right to tell our story. But it's also there for a very impactful and powerful way if you'd like to utilize it there. And so for this event, what we're doing is, in addition to the national portion, we'll be having the theme of crafting your journey, storytelling for empowerment and change. And so how do you use what you've been through? How do you use these struggles and these different ups and downs and maybe some of the daily battles that we face, right? How do we take that and how do we turn it into impacting positive change within our communities, within our organizations, within different systems that we engage with, right? And that is the ultimate view of what we're really bringing to the table through these powerhouse ladies, because these are ladies that are advocating not just for themselves, but others every single day, from their community all the way up to DC. And then let me not leave this off, because this is an amazing opportunity as well, because we have the very one and only original Rosie the Riveter, Miss May Cryer, who is going to be able to grace us with her presence virtually and share her story with us regarding her advocacy and her experience and just what that's been like for her and what's continued to keep her rolling. And so we're so thankful. I've got goosebumps all over my whole body just speaking about it. It's going to be an amazing opportunity. Vendors galore. We've got, as you can see, we've had an amazing outpouring of support from the community. Again, we can't do anything alone. And so this event will be at the VFW Post 7108, the post in Helotes. And of course, we've had sponsors from First Command, MDK, Holistic Wellness, Women Veterans Alliance. Of course, they're the main organization that has been able to make this even possible. And then also the St. Mary's University, the School of Law. And so we're super stoked for the event. We've got tickets are going fast. And so we've got very limited seats left. Please make sure you register. It's $15 a ticket. That includes lunch, swag bag, great information, an amazing opportunity for networking. And then last but not least, you'll also be able to hear on the national platform, not only about all the different organizations that are there in support for our women veterans that are across the nation. There's 20 plus host locations. You'll learn about all of those. And then on top of that, you're going to be able to hear our national keynote speaker, who is Miss Joyce Abbott. So some of you might be thinking, Miss Joyce Abbott, that name, where's it coming from? I hear it. What is that? How do I know that name? Well, Miss Joyce Abbott, she is a dedicated Army veteran. She's a passionate educator and a respected leader. She devoted her career to shaping young minds and leaving a profound impact on her community. And Miss Joyce Abbott, she is the namesake of the award-winning TV series Abbott Elementary. And so definitely some great things coming up this on May 31st. I definitely would not miss out. You've got a QR code here, and you can also find it through our events calendar on our website at graceafterfire.org.
Well, looks like I need to get my ticket then. Keep forgetting. but yes.
Yes, ma'am.
I just told myself. But honestly, I can't wait to see all these phenomenal ladies speak. I always love to hear others' journeys, just because everyone is entirely different. And so it is so inspiring and impactful to hear how everyone's journey really took them, and the route they did, and what were they able to do with the opportunities they had or did not have. And in May's case, she has been an advocate for women for 80 years. Can you imagine 80 years? That's crazy.
I know. I cannot wait to hear the insight and knowledge. Oh, from 80 years of experience, man.
Yep. I believe the last time Stephanie got this and May spoke with each other, it was when she came down for a week here in Texas and drove a tank. Mm-hmm. And the Pink Berets were gracious enough to hold an event. And a lot of people from Uvalde that had met May earlier in the week came out. And it was an archery event. And it was, we were able to raise funds for, to be able to tattoo women veterans with post-traumatic stress. So it was very gracious of them to allow us to attend their event or have an event for May on their archery place that they use. So I very much do appreciate that, Miss Stephanie. And we'll be seeing you soon. And I can't wait to see all the rest of the ladies as well. And, well, check it out, guys. And I did want to just briefly, because I want to start adding a did you know portion to this podcast, because there's so much I don't know about things that you're eligible for in the veteran community. So that's what we're going to do right now. And so, did you know that veterans with service-connected injuries are eligible for 12 chiropractic visits a year, and you can be seen in community care? Yes. So all you have to do is you have to let your primary physician know that you like to see chiropractics. I prefer to go off base because there is a chiropractor in the community care here in San Antonio that does decompressive spinal therapy for free alongside physical therapy and the actual adjustment through chiropractics. And so and it's very common that women veterans do not use this at all, because most people don't think they're eligible. But yes, you're eligible for 12 chiropractic visits in a calendar year. You just have to go let your doctor know, hey, I'd like to see a chiropractor. They'll have you go and take an x-ray. And then after that, they would submit the referral. So just be your own best advocate, everyone that's listening. I can't tell you how much the correct chiropractics can absolutely help for many, many different conditions, especially wearing battle rattle or, anything else, because especially with all those plates, that's what, like 200 pounds. I think my ex-husband weighed himself and he weighed 350 pounds with it all on. And he was a pretty small dude. So I was like, how do you not tip over?
Right.
I wanted to so bad, but I was like, then I'd have to help him get up, and then that'd be like work. So yeah. But I'll just think about it hard.
Choices.
I know. They give me trouble all the time. No. But no, we're absolutely looking forward to joining you guys on May 31st. And no, you do not have to be a member of Grace After Fire to attend this event. But if you want to check out all these amazing programs that they're having, definitely sign up, and you'll meet some amazing ladies. As soon as I moved out here to Canyon Lake, the Grace After Fire ladies were the first ones to say, hey, what are you doing? I would like to come talk to you and hang out. And I was just like, okay. And then I met them, and they were the sweetest and most amazing ladies. And so I absolutely can't wait to check out some of these events for myself. But before we do wrap it up today, I did want to ask your final thoughts. What are some final thoughts that you may have that you'd like our viewers to take away?
I would just say, I would advocate for each of our ladies to really just reach out and find a tribe that you connect with. Find your community group, find, a nonprofit organization. And oftentimes that does take going to different events and checking out those different opportunities to see where you fit and what really makes your heart the happiest. I'm a firm believer in self-care and really filling your cup and taking care of self. And for me, that might mean enjoying a range night that is hosted by one of Grace After Fire's community partners every now and again. I enjoy those. But plug in, look up different organizations, ask your different women veteran sisters in arms, ask them what they've experienced, what they've had, where they've been, what they've experienced, what they've been involved with, and then get plugged in where you find that you want to be a part of. And that would be my biggest thing, because I think that really the camaraderie that comes back, that, like a lot of times, I know I felt this way for a very long time, where I was like, oh, I don't want to be around my sisters from the military because it's a very different culture. But after I was out and I really realized the power of that connection, I wouldn't change it for the world, because it's like nothing else. It's where I walk into a room and I can be authentically me. I don't have to change the verbiage that I use. I can say, hey, I'm going to hit the head real quick. And people don't be like, huh? What? You're going to do what? You're going to hit what? And I'm like, it's okay. I'm just using the restroom. I'll be right back. But it's just those little things, they really add up to mean a lot. And so find your tribe, wherever that is, find that tribe. That would be my best advice that I could provide.
Oh, I love it. Be your own best advocate, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, ma'am. That's right.
Well, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you on. I can't wait to do more events and give you a hard time, and we can try to stream in person.
I cannot wait for that either, Brandy. Thank you.
We were on the struggle bus. At least I was. I was driving the struggle bus.
Yeah, me too.
And I want to take the time to thank Sister Cecilia for designing this awesome podcast shirt that we use to have funds raised to tattoo women veterans with PTSD. You guys all know that I'm a woman of many hats. I don't know if I'm a master of any said hats, but I try my best where I can. And we definitely are planning to have more veterans taken care of this year. And we have more artists that are coming online. So I think we're going to have to start doing like a sign up or something. Because now I have more artists than like veterans I can think of offhand. But no, it was absolutely a pleasure to have you on. And we look forward to checking out the Women Veterans Engage conference. And I love to see Miss May anytime I can. So I'll be sure to give her a hard time before she goes on. But no, absolutely, guys. If you guys have any questions about the nonprofit Grace After Fire, go ahead and check out their webpage, www.graceafterfire.org. If you have questions about an additional topic that you guys would like us to talk about, I know we've had veterans ask about alternative medical treatments. If you want to tell your story, we've had veterans that are MST survivors that are even male, like reach out that want to tell their stories. We can absolutely do that. We don't have to have the video feed enabled. So if you want your a bit of anonymity, which is absolutely fine, we can absolutely do that. Usually in the past, when we have done stories like this, we always have a therapist like in the waiting room or on hand afterwards, just in case they do need to decompress. But we want to hear from you guys. So please reach out to the Yes, I Am the Veteran podcast, and we will be happy to connect however we can or get you on the schedule. But I'll let Aurelia take it away, and have a good week, and happy Memorial Day, or remember our fallen, and definitely be kind to each other. But all right, Aurelia, take us away.
Hi, I'm Amelia. Just a reminder, smash like, hit subscribe, and click the bell. Please give me my mommy some hearts. Yay, veterans!